Yeah, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with picks from the DawgHouse, NFL edition, Conference Championship edition, man. I'm glad to be back. Missed a couple days with my wisdom teeth being pulled, but this is a great show to be back with, man. Talking some NFL Conference Championship action, man. We got the Chiefs and the Bills. We got the Commanders and the Eagles division battle in the NFC with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Pumped up, ready to talk through it with the guys. We got McMorty. How you doing this week, sir?
Doing great. I don't know if did you happen to see any of the game over in Paris yesterday?
I did. Wembyama. He's looking as good as advertised. We'll see. We'll see. I still think the Spurs can make some noise this season. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out after the All-Star break.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're not good enough to even if they get into the play-in and get into the 7 or 8 spots. They'd get slaughtered by going up against the top 2 seeds out west. So
Right now, it's Houston. I think it's Houston is the 2 seed. So if y'all were to get that 7 seed, my Mavs currently sitting at 7 seed. But
yeah,
if y'all were getting that 7 seed, interstate rivalry, I think y'all can make a little noise. Two young teams. I think y'all match up well with them too. It's just the West is a matchup game. Is how it's gonna play out later on in the season. So
right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if y'all got in and won a series. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, but they'd have to actually get up to the 7-8 hole to get into the opportunity to play Houston instead of Oklahoma City. So
True.
it's a long way to go.
Yes, it is. But the future is bright down there in San Antonio.
Yes.
Or should I say it was bright in Paris yesterday?
Yeah, I don't know. But that was such an obvious play. I don't understand how the whole world was about San Antonio in that game.
Yeah. Wimby going home, you knew he was due for a monster game. You just knew it. Bad spot for the Pacers, so wasn't shocked at all to see it happen that way. Yeah, the NBA rolling right along. NFL finna closing on out, man. We got 3 games left, fellas. Isn't that kind of crazy? I think that's crazy. Sean, how you doing today, sir?
Good, yeah, it is crazy. It goes by fast. Feels like we're just kicking off the college football August games, and now here we are, nearing the end of the NFL season, and a couple familiar matchups on Sunday. We've got a division game to kick it off, and then we get the Bills and Chiefs, which it seems like we see every year now. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Last weekend was kind of a mixed bag for me. It depended on what number you got. Really, I had the Chiefs on Saturday. Um, you know, End up getting the cover there. I know some would take a loss on that one, and then the next day with the Eagles, it was the other way around. So it was kind of an up and down weekend, but we'll see what we can do here this week.
It was a good weekend for me last weekend. I went 3-1 in the games. Um, Probably should have went 4-0. I got greedy in that Rams game, and I took the Rams outright money line instead of grabbing the points. So that was my one loss. But ATS, man, I had a really good weekend. Looking to do it again this weekend. I'm ready to talk through the games with you fellas, man. It's some interesting angles I've heard throughout the week. A lot of different opinions. We got a competitive line in the AFC Championship game, and then you never know what happens when you play a team for the 3rd time in the season, especially in a division battle. So let's talk about it, fellas. Let's talk about it. First game on the board, the Commanders in Philadelphia. Eagles land 6, total 47.5. The money line on Washington currently, I'm seeing plus 230. We got McMorty. You're up first here, my man. How you feeling? NFC Championship.
Well, for me, it's. I'm going to look at the total in the game, Jay. Going to go back last month. These two teams met 5 games ago, and the Commanders upset Philadelphia as a 4.5 point underdog by a score of 36-33. So 69 combined points were scored. And in the NFL, whether it's regular season or playoffs, when you get a rematch, after the previous game totaled 68 or more points, then the under has come in at a pretty significant rate. It's gone 77 and 50 under the total. And so that's the way I'm going to look here. I think for a lot of people, they may look at that most recent game and see 69 points and think, oh, this thing should easily go over the total of 47.5. But Usually doesn't happen that way, so I'm going to take the under.
Contrarian angle from Al. He loves those. Going the other way, taking the under. Sean Murphy, how you feeling here?
I'm on the exact same play as Al on this one. I like the under. It sets up very nice here with we've got the Commanders coming off that game last week that totaled 76 points. And as Al mentioned, the regular season, the last matchup in this series here, we saw 69 points. So, I think the over is going to draw some money this week. We talked about it last week. The Eagles Rams matchup was I really liked the over in that game last week, and it did end up getting there, even though it was kind of sketchy for a bit. But um, I think this Eagles defense shows up here this week and has another great game, familiar opponent. You look back to that first meeting this season, the lone meeting in Philadelphia back on November 14th. The Eagles defense dominated that game. We saw 44 total points. Eagles won that game 26-18. I think we see a similar type of game play out here, more similar to that game compared to the game in Washington. We had the Eagles on a 10-game winning streak. Jalen Hurts got hurt early in that game, if I remember correctly, and left the game. It kind of just that game went. It was just one of those NFL games where it sometimes just goes sideways and everything is out of control in that one. I don't think we'll see anything like that here in the postseason. So I'm on the under in this game.
I like the under with you guys, believe it or not. We're going to sweep on the under. I think it's just going to be a lower scoring divisional trip to the Super Bowl style game. I don't think either offense lights up the scoreboard. Rookie quarterback in an NFC Championship game, I worry about him, especially against an Eagles defense that I haven't given enough credit to this season. But on the flip side, y'all have heard me bash Jalen Hurts now for weeks. I still don't think that he's playing necessarily at the level that many people would want you to believe he is. I think he's struggling right now, and I think Washington, is more equipped to stop the run than many other teams are. I think they kind of will bottle Saquon Barkley up a little bit and try to force Jalen Hurts to beat him. I think we're just looking at a lower scoring game between two teams that know each other quite well. Who wins the game? I think the Eagles win the game and punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. I don't think they cover, though. I want the Washington Commanders plus the points in my back pocket. I think this is just going to be black and blue, back and forth, on the edge of your seat style game. I think is what this one's going to be. I think Washington is going to have an opportunity to win this game late, and Philadelphia probably comes up with another big stop like they did last week against the Rams. That defense was won that game last week. The offense, they played well. Saquon opened that one long touchdown, and then I thought Stafford and them were going to go down and score and win that thing. That false start and that sack really hurt them late on that last drive. But you got to give credit to that Eagles defensive line. I thought Jalen Carter absolutely wrecked that game last week. And I think that's the edge here for Philadelphia. I think their defensive line is going to control this game. And I think ultimately that what pushes them over the edge for the win. But I still think I got this one somewhere like 24-20. It's kind of where I got this game shaping out. Philly wins 24-20 is my final score for this game. So that puts me on the under, and that puts me on the Commanders plus the points. But I do think Philadelphia punches their ticket to the Super Bowl. So as I see this game shaping out, fellas, should be an interesting game. Should be an interesting one. We head on over to the AFC Championship game, man. Arrowhead, where it's the Bills and the Chiefs, like Sean said, matching up for now, the fourth time in 5 years? I believe is what it is. Interesting matchup we have here, man. Of course, the Bills got them outright earlier this season. Handed the Chiefs their first L of the season. Revenge game at home for the Chiefs, Sean. How you think this game shapes out from the total or from an ATS perspective?
Yeah, this one, it sets up similarly to last week when we had the Baltimore Buffalo game where, we were kind of torn on that one as well. I'm on the Chiefs in this one. I think I like fading the Bills here off the back-to-back covers here in the playoffs, including that upset. We'll call it an upset win at home against the Ravens last week. Whereas the Chiefs, they're coming off last week where they didn't cover based on the closing number. They covered for a lot of people 23-14. That safety was threw a wrench in the plans for a lot of bettors in that one. But I just think the Chiefs, they're as healthy as they've been all season. This matchup has been pretty even over the years. I think it's 4-4 matchups between Mahomes and Allen. But in the postseason, it's 3-0 Chiefs. And, until Buffalo can prove that they can beat these guys in the playoffs, I'm not confident enough to back the Bills. I know a lot of people think this is their year, this is the chance, but again, we've got the Chiefs coming in healthy, and now we've got the Bills coming in with a bunch of injuries in the secondary. They've got Matt Milano banged up at linebacker. It's just, not. They're going to need Josh Allen to have one of those kind of Superman games to try and upend the Chiefs in this one. And he could very well do it. He's got the talent to do it, but for my money, I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs and stick with what works here and go against the majority of people who want the Chiefs. I mean, there's so many out there that want the Chiefs to lose this game. I don't think it happens. I think Kansas City comes away with the win.
I'm right there with you, Sean. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm on the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I told y'all from day one on this show, I'm on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, be the first team ever to three-peat. I thought at the time that was a pretty, that wasn't, the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Popular statement. No team has ever three-peated. So to say that it was going to happen, I thought was kind of a bold statement. But I really like the chances here, man. This is a team that has only lost. I throw that Broncos game out. I throw that game out. Last game of the season, I throw that out. This is a Super Bowl champion that has only lost one game all season long, and you're telling me they got a chance to do it over at home? Oh my God! And you're giving me the best quarterback in the nation, the best head coach in the nation, with one of the most. The thing about the Chiefs, the reason I love the Chiefs so much is how good they are situationally. I think they're 2 times better situationally than any other team in the league. And that's the edge. There's too many edges for me here on this Chiefs game. I don't understand how the line was 1. I don't understand how the line was 2. I would probably lay up to 6. I would probably go extended in this game on the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs put belt to ass and absolutely beat the brakes off of the Bills in this game. It's a bad matchup for Buffalo, in my opinion. I like the spot for Buffalo last week at home. I understood that the Ravens, they're not a playoff rising style team. And that's why I gave Buffalo the edge, especially at home. But man, the Chiefs always rise to the occasion in the playoffs. And we're in Arrowhead. Josh Allen has never beaten Mahomes in the playoffs. When he went and scored and left 13 seconds left on the clock. And it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. So I just think what I tell my friends and a lot of people a lot of the time is people genuinely don't love greatness. They think they do, but they don't. Truly deep down, a lot of people despise greatness. So that's why a lot of people want the Chiefs to lose. They just think that it's not fair. They think the refs is cheating. They think this, they think that, they think this, they think that. But it's not none of that. It's just greatness. Ultimately, is all it is. And I think they punched their ticket back to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to be the first team ever to three-peat. And I think Mahomes cements himself. After this, I think we have a real argument, him versus Brady. The hard part of that conversation and forever will be with Mahomes and Brady is Mahomes got beat by Brady when Brady was old. So that'll forever be the hard part of the conversation for Mahomes. But I think Mahomes legitimately elevates his name into that top 3 quarterback ever with the Super Bowl win this season. Josh Allen, man, hell of a season, MVP style season. If you can walk into Arrowhead and go and get it done, I almost call it Burrowhead. If you can walk into Arrowhead and get it done, the only person I've seen do that in the playoffs is Joe Burrow. So I want to see you do it, Josh Allen, but I don't think you have it in you. I just don't think you have it in you. I think the Chiefs are too good situationally. I think I think Mahomes is just better than Allen, and I think Spags and the defensive pressure they're going to dial up on Allen in specific points in the game, kind of like they did on the what's the name last week, is ultimately what's going to push them over the top. So I like the Chiefs. I actually like them big here in this game. I'm going to lay it with Kansas City. Al?
Well, Jay, I hope you're right on your two predictions because then I would be alive for our bet we made last week for the hat. So
Yes, you will.
I'm gonna look at the over under here. I you know I'm going to draw a distinction in this series, this Bills Chiefs series, between the playoff meetings and the regular season meetings. When you look at how Kansas City and Buffalo have gone when they play in the regular season, I mean, you can go all the way back. I mean, they're 20-7 under the total, including 6-3 under in the Andy Reid era. And then you take a look at the playoffs. When the Chiefs and Bills have met in the playoffs, all 5 playoff games have gone over the total, including 3-0 over in this Andy Reid era. They combined for 62 points in the playoff game in 2021, then 78 points in 2022. Last year in the playoffs, it was 51 points. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to take the over in this game as well and look for another high-scoring playoff game.
High-scoring game, says Big Al McMorty. It's going to be interesting to see how these two games play out. Trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Sunday is going to be a very fun afternoon. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Ultimately, I know you guys have some plays that you're officially on. Some plays you love the most. Al, what you got going on this weekend over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
Yeah, I posted yesterday my 2-side selections for these NFL games. So if folks want to get on board, they can go over to Pick Dawgz. And of course, you can team me up with Jay or Sean on the 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 handicapper special. You can get all of our basketball plays, all of our hockey plays. And that's the best way to go.
Yes, sir. Hop on with Big Al McMorty over at Pick Dawgz Premium. The numbers he's put up over the last 12, 6, 3 month, 30, no matter how you break it down. Al McMorty's a winner. Hop on with Al, man, and kick the crap out of the books. Sean, what you got going on this week, man, over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
Yeah, I've got 3 plays on the board for Sunday for the NFL action. So you can get those individually, or you can get to all 3 in a package. The package is always the way to go. I think it's only $10 more than the individual plays. Yeah, both sides, and also a 10-star total, which I didn't talk about here. So yeah, we'll look to go for the sweep on Sunday, and of course, also before that, we've got Saturday and Sunday basketball and hockey. Lots on the board, especially with college hoops. Been having a good season there, so look to keep it rolling this weekend.
Keep it rolling with Sean Murphy, man. Make you some money this weekend. All sports combined. Like these two guys said, with the NFL winding on down, just 3 games left. College football officially over. It's basketball season, ladies and gentlemen. So tons of college hoops from these two guys right here next to me, and a ton of NBA from me. So pair us up. These guys bet NBA as well, and I dabble in college hoops as well, but not as much college hoops from me as NBA. So this weekend, I'm looking at 2 or 3 plays in this NFL weekend that I'm absolutely loving. Of course, I just talked you guys through them, but I'm officially going to be on them here for the weekend, so you guys can hop on that, or you can hop on a weekend pass. Best thing to do, you get all those plays, plus college basketball tomorrow, plus NBA. Looking for a monster weekend to close out January. So that's what I got going on over at Pick Dawgz Premium this week, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more show here on Fix from the DawgHouse NFL edition, man, for the season. And then we'll be back next year to do it all over again. So any final words from you two fellas before we get on out of here for the week?
No, I don't have any.
I forgot Jay to give you the shout out. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I'm just really looking forward to it because I think this is, sometimes we don't get the greatest, semifinal games, but I think we've got 2 really good ones. So I think it sets up for a pretty good Super Bowl, no matter, what the combination ends up being.
I agree.
Yeah, Jay, I forgot to shout you out there for last week because you nailed that Commanders money line. I believe you talked about here on this very show last week, and yeah, that was a bold call, and it was the right one. So props to you for that one.
Thank you,
And you
sir.
almost got the Rams too. You
I
almost got that NFC sweep. So
I wanted that Rams. I wanted it. Shout out that Eagles defensive stop there late in that game, though. We'll see if they can replicate it this week against the Commanders to punch their ticket back to the Super Bowl. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this season. We'll see y'all again next week for the Super Bowl edition show. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. We're out of here.